Julia and Marcos had been searching for the perfect house for months. When they stumbled upon the charming old mansion nestled at the edge of a quiet village, it seemed like a dream come true. The house had character, history, and the potential to become their forever home. Little did they know, it also had secrets. Their first night in the house was magical. They dined on the veranda, bathed in the golden glow of the setting sun, and shared stories about their future. As the night deepened, they decided to explore the attic, a dusty space filled with forgotten relics and old furniture draped in white sheets. Among the cobwebs and shadows, Julia found an intricately designed diary. "Look at this, Marcos," she called out, dusting off the cover. "It must be ancient." Marcos took the diary from her, flipping through the yellowed pages filled with elegant handwriting. "It looks like it belonged to someone who lived here long ago." Curiosity piqued. They settled in for the night, Julia reading aloud from the diary while Marcos listened intently. The entries spoke of a woman named Anna, who lived in the house over a century ago. Anna wrote of her love for a man named Eduardo, their secret romance, and the impending danger that threatened to tear them apart. As Julia read further, the tone of the diary changed. Anna's words became frantic, desperate, detailing how Eduardo had been falsely accused of a crime and executed. Anna vowed revenge on those who wronged him, her love turning into a dark obsession. The last entry was chilling, ending abruptly with the words, "I will have my vengeance, no matter the cost." "That's eerie," Marcos said, shivering despite the warmth of the room. "Maybe we should put it away for now." Julia nodded, but as she closed the diary, a cold breeze swept through the room, extinguishing the candles. The couple exchanged uneasy glances, but attributed the odd occurrence to the age of the house and retired for the night. The following days were filled with a growing sense of unease. Strange noises echoed through the halls, shadows seemed to move on their own, and Julia began having vivid nightmares of a woman in a tattered dress, weeping blood and whispering of betrayal. Marcos tried to comfort her, but he too felt the presence of something sinister lurking within their home. One evening, while Marcos was out running errands, Julia decided to investigate the diary further. She was drawn to it, compelled by a force she couldn't explain. As she read Anna's final, chilling entry once more, she heard a faint whisper. "Help me." Julia froze, her heart pounding. The whisper grew louder, more insistent. "Help me, avenge him." Trembling, Julia looked around the room, her eyes falling on the mirror. In its reflection, she saw the ghostly figure of Anna standing behind her, eyes hollow and face twisted with rage. Julia screamed, the diary falling from her hands as she bolted from the room. When Marcos returned, he found Julia huddled in the corner of the living room, her eyes wide with terror. She recounted what had happened, her voice shaking. Marcos held her tightly, promising they would find a way to put an end to the haunting. Desperate, the couple sought out the village's oldest resident, an elderly woman named Dona Rosa. She listened to their story with a grave expression, nodding knowingly. "The spirit of Anna is restless," she explained. Her love for Eduardo was so strong that it transcended death, turning into a curse. She won't find peace until her vengeance is fulfilled. "But how do we stop her?" Julia asked, her voice trembling. "You must find a way to communicate with her," Dona Rosa said. "Understand her pain and help her find closure. Only then will the curse be lifted." Armed with this knowledge, Julia and Marcos returned to the mansion. They set up an old Ouija board they found in the attic, hoping to reach Anna's spirit. As they began the seance, the temperature in the room dropped, and the planchette started moving on its own. "Who are you?" Julia asked, her voice barely above a whisper. The planchette spelled out Anna. "What do you want?" "Revenge." "How can we help you?" The room grew colder, and a violent wind whipped through the space. The planchette spelled out a final message: find the truth. Determined, the couple began researching the history of the house and the village. They discovered that Eduardo had indeed been wrongfully accused and executed. The true culprit was a powerful landowner who framed Eduardo to cover up his own crimes. With this information, Julia and Marcos confronted the descendants of the landowner, demanding they publicly acknowledge the truth and clear Eduardo's name. Reluctantly, they agreed, and a memorial service was held to honor Eduardo and seek forgiveness for the injustice done to him. As the ceremony concluded, the oppressive atmosphere in the mansion lifted. That night, Julia had one final dream. Anna appeared before her, no longer a vengeful spirit, but a serene, grateful presence. "Thank you," Anna whispered. "I can finally be at peace." The next morning, Julia and Marcos woke to a house filled with light and warmth. The shadows had receded, and the sense of dread was gone. They knew Anna had found her peace, and with it, the curse had been lifted. The couple resumed their lives, their love stronger for having faced the darkness together. The mansion, once a place of torment, became a home filled with love and happiness. And in a quiet corner of the attic, the diary lay untouched, its story finally complete.